Good morning. It is Tuesday morning, and this morning Tim has a lab appointment and then dialysis, and then this afternoon he has an oncology appointment at Freighter. And today's the day that we talk about CAR T-cell therapy and really lay out the next steps for what his path to, remission might look like. So wish us well. I can't even tell you how beautiful this morning is. I was just like, the moon was full on in one direction and just this beautiful morning light in another direction, and you can see it all behind me, and it's just like a drink of cool water for my soul. I'm feeling a little tired this morning. I'm super grateful that my mom is here and we got a ton of stuff done yesterday. I just feel so grateful. So grateful for the help. This morning, the thing that I'm really contemplating on, I've been contemplating it a lot recently, and I think I spoke to it some in my last post, but I feel called to talk about it a bit more. And that's really the difference between surviving and thriving in the midst of a crisis. And, we have personal crises. We've got a big, giant planetary crisis right now. And, in the midst of that, there's a lot of moment-to-moment living. And I think what I boil it down to for myself is thriving is, I think surviving is like, I'm going to try to get to the next moment. I'm going to try to get to the end. I'm going to try to get to this point at sometime out in the future. And when this thing is over, or when I finally get there, things will be better. I'll be relieved of this suffering. Or it's just barely hanging on. Whereas thriving, for me, looks like finding meaning and purpose in all of those moments, like the moment-to-moment living, and in all of the moments of now. Life is it's really a lot of moments that we could look at as being really mundane, or we can just open our eyes to the gift of being alive. That's it. I'm alive, therefore I'm I don't know. It's I'm breathing in fresh air and not taking that for granted. Seeing this beautiful morning around me and knowing this day, this morning, this moment now is never going to be here again. I said goodbye to my girls this morning when they went to school, and we won't ever have that moment again. And that's really our lives are all of these little moments, and how we show up in them is the difference between surviving and thriving. If we show up in them ready to move on to the next and eager for it to be over, and we can't wait for the struggle or the pain or the suffering to be done with, I think we miss out on a whole lot of living. And I mentioned this in my last video, but I just I don't know. I think of Timmy's situation right now, and eating and keeping food down can be a challenge, and kind of figuring out what is he going to eat that's going to work right for his body. Sometimes going to the bathroom is a challenge, and just getting his bowels to move, and sleeping can be a challenge. And I reflect back to this time I went on a really fun bike tour for 6 months, and on that bike tour, like figuring out what I was gonna eat that was gonna like sit well with me was a challenge, and digesting my food and going to the bathroom regularly was a challenge, and sleeping amidst like odd campgrounds and camping in the middle of nowhere, and sometimes camping like on right next to like a loud generator in a gas station, or inside of a police station in a tent, because the bugs were so crazy that just seemed like the best thing to do to steer clear of these huge ass bugs. And they're both like very similar kinds of struggle, and one we label hard and pain and sickness, and the other we label as an adventure. And I think thriving is like living all of life as if it's an adventure. Like, I'm here for a journey. Like, I signed up for a journey. I signed up for an adventure. I signed up for like being fully engaged in all of the moments, all of the nows. And yeah, that's thriving. Like, that's thriving. And we remember, like, we chose this. We chose to come in. We chose for all of these experiences. We chose to be a part of life. Right now, like, living in 2022, it's like, God, there's so many things we could have signed up for when we came into this life, and when we raised our head and said, like, yeah, I'm going back. I'm like going in. I want to do this. I want to be a part of, whatever's there for me. It just, as an occupational therapist, like, I've seen people come through illness and injury and come out on the other side just like grumbling and griping, but usually not. Usually people kind of come through those experiences like with a renewed sense of appreciation for the moments that they have. I mean, they realize, like, in those moments that I can't take it for granted. Like, life has taught me that I can't take these moments for granted. I've watched some people come through, really having a hard time. And I've seen other people come through, like, having a hard time, but, like, I'm going to do this. Like, I'm here. I'm going to fully do my exercises, because fully doing my exercises right now, or fully, like, I worked with some burn survivors, and it was just like, holy shit, the pain of having, like, your, just your axilla stretched, if you've been burned right here, and it's like scar tissue just binding down on itself. It's like, of course you want to move beyond that moment because it's a hard moment. But the people that I've seen really thrive in those moments are like appreciating the person that's stretching them, appreciating the person that's coaching them through the exercises, appreciating the fact that they can engage in the exercises when they almost died, like it was almost over for them. And I feel tempted, like, I feel called to speak about this for you, for people out there who are kind of finding themselves teetering between surviving and thriving. And also for me, because I have, like, I don't know, this morning I was just like, I'd love to be doing fun adventures right now. I'd love to be packing my car up and going for, I don't know, a 10-day out, like, backpacking trip somewhere. I'd love to be sitting in a kayak going down a river, or I don't know, those are adventures that I would choose. I put on some hiking shoes and like just take off. That would be fun for me. I know that's not fun for everybody, but that's the kind of adventure I would choose. And yet I'm like helping my girls get ready for school, waiting for the bus. You know, and I started to like surf through my phone just a little bit, and I was like, oh God, here I go. Like, I'm seeing other people's lives and feeling like shit for a moment. And I looked outside and I could just see the light calling me. And it was just like this little poke, like, are you gonna keep doing that? Are you gonna keep scrolling? Or are you gonna come out and like be in me, be a part of me, like watch me rise, watch me shine, and remember that there's like a part of you that is rising and shining too. And I just want you to like soak in that reality in me so that you can feel like that you can remember that that's part of you. So I did it. I put it down. I walked outside. I actually kept my phone with me because I love to take photos, and so I actually took some beautiful photos, but like I didn't feel myself separate from the moment or like turning my attention away from it. For me, a lot of photography is really just like taking that moment and then magnifying it and so appreciating it. So I'm so glad I did. Like, the light is getting brighter and brighter, and the moon is right behind this grain silo. I know it. I can feel her there. So I think I'm gonna go like resume my morning indulgence of this beautiful outside space and just appreciate that this is where I am right now, and these are the life circumstances that I'm in right now. And I'm going to pray that, you know, whatever happens today for Tim and during that oncology visit is, you know, that we're up for it, that we're ready for it, we're up for it, and that we can just like look each other in the eye and say, okay, let's do it, you know. Whatever that is, whatever feels right for Tim, I will raise my hand in support of that too. So I don't know what thriving looks like for you. I don't know where you sit between surviving and thriving. I think it's really worthy of exploration, like a lot of exploration. I think it's worthy of really asking yourself, like, where you sit and what would it take for you to shift from one to the other, because it matters. Like, it matters a whole lot in terms of how you feel, which is so hugely important, because how you feel, like, you're an energetic being and it affects everybody around you. So how you show up in the moment to moment matters a lot. And I really believe like that a lot of the things that are like ailing our planet are I think we wouldn't have so many of those things if we could like explore what it means to thrive in the now and just appreciate the now and appreciate like the moment to moment and appreciate the simple things like our breath and how our bodies move and how we get to be like a part of this wonderful thing called life, and that life moves through us. I think a lot of the stuff that fills our lives and our world and our preoccupations are things that are distractions and diversions, and you know, they kind of like fill the void, but how much do they fill the void really? You know, I think they make us feel more sick. Sometimes I think they feel like a weight, you know, it's like we get the stuff to fill the void, and then we carry the dead weight of the stuff that's filling the void because there's no life moving through it. Was a place filler. And so this is just a parting invitation for you to explore surviving versus thriving, and really take a good look at like what are the changes you need to make, or what are the decisions you need to make, or what can you do like right in this moment to just appreciate this moment fully. Because I think if you're doing that, like, that's thriving. All right, I'm gonna part ways now and wish you a wonderful day, and yeah, I wish you a wonderful day and week, and all good things to you and the ones you love. Bye for now.